jabroni, the eyebrow raising, the people's elbow dropping, the rock bottom giving, pie eating, son of a gun, jabroni kicking, but not this jabroni. Mr. Jabroni is back on YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, the title of the video, Triple H voted Wrestler of the Decade. Wrestler of the Decade. Now, I just want to take this opportunity to say this is exactly why I don't trust wrestling websites. I don't. The only thing they're good for is, you know, main headlines, you know, good big headlines, the next big signing, you know, and they're not even good for that half the time. Do you remember when they said WWE had signed Nigel McGuinness? Look how well that turned out. Ladies and gentlemen, wrestling websites, news websites, no jack shit, none of them. The Wrestling Observer is probably the biggest one, with the biggest douche of them all in Dave Meltzer, the fucking ass clown. He is one of the worst fucking wrestling critics there is. He's a fucking jackass. He knows jack shit. He bums the WWE. He has Vince McMahon's cock. Not cock, but he does have his cock in his mouth. But he has Vince McMahon's shit 3 inches up his cock. The other inch is clean. Ladies and gentlemen, well, this is exactly why I don't trust wrestling websites. Triple H, Wrestler of the Decade. Are you fucking kidding me? Besides the fact that he had 2 very, very lengthy times out, you know, from the same injury, the quad injury, you know, so that's 10 years, a decade. He's had at least 2 years injured in injury time, just out, you know, so 8 years. Who would I put as Wrestler of the Decade? It's a good question. It's a good, very good question. I would have to put Wrestler of the Decade AJ Styles. AJ Styles is Wrestler of the Decade in my book, and let me tell you why. Let me tell you why AJ is Wrestler of the Decade. In 2002, AJ was a complete unknown. You know, no one but the indie circuits knew who this guy was. Sure, he catched the very, very end of WCW before it died. But in 2002, nobody knew who AJ was. In 2002, he made his name in the X Division. 2002 to 2003, he became a good, up and rising star in TNA wrestling. Then in 2004 and 2005, he transitioned to the World Heavyweight title picture. AJ Styles is the greatest wrestler of the decade because of one thing. Well, there's a lot of things, but let me tell you the main thing. AJ Styles is quite possibly the most phenomenal wrestler I have ever seen. He can wrestle every kind of way. Cruiserweight or X Division, tag team. He's formed one of the best tag teams of all time with with Daniels, or indeed in the heavyweight division. AJ can do it all. You know, if they wanted to, he could fucking even win the knockout title, and he could still, you know, he could still be a knockout champion. That's how good AJ Styles is. Another factor is I cannot remember a long time period of AJ being out. I can remember him getting injuries every now and then. I can remember a few months maybe, but I cannot remember a big period of time he's been out. AJ also shows to me the passion and dedication that no one else has ever shown. You know, I mean, everyone in TNA, they say, oh yeah, we love TNA. But if they was offered a contract to WWE with an extra digit in front of their paycheck, they would definitely take it up. AJ has had 2 offers from WWE that we know of, and he's turned them down. AJ has, you know, he just has, and pardon the pun, a phenomenal amount of passion for TNA wrestling and for wrestling in general. And, you know, he can work as a face, a great face. You know, he makes his name with the face. He's fucking awesome with the face. But he can also pull off a heel role. No one else has been able to do that in this end of the decade. You know, of course you have The Rock, face, heel, don't really matter. Stone Cold. He was always that badass, did heelish things but still a face. You know what I mean? Shawn Michaels can also pull off heel and face. Triple H can... I don't know, Triple H to the face. I really don't like Triple H to the face. Triple H to the heel. Good times. Undertaker can pull off heel and face. Of course he is the dead man now and you'll never see him heel in that character, but I remember American Badass when he made Tommy Dreamer drink Undertaker's spit. What was it? Tobacco spit. Great heel and face guy, Undertaker. But AJ, you know, he could definitely pull off both roles. Another one I need to name is Chris Jericho. He can also pull off heel and face. So AJ Styles is my wrestler of the decade simply because this decade alone is when he's come from scratch to absolutely top of the world. Triple H, you know, he made his name in... He did make his name in this decade, I have to give him that. But he also had the 90s. You know, DX in the 90s. He had, I think he had his first title... Yeah, he would have had his first title run in the 90s. Triple H did not become a big star in this decade. So it's kind of transitional there. But this decade definitely belongs to AJ Styles. From 2002 to all the way to 2009, that guy has been absolutely phenomenal. That guy has also made a wrestling company what it is. You know, you've got to imagine TNA in, let's say, a pie chart. You've got all the other guys there from about this, and AJ Styles is the other 50%. You know, AJ, I can't imagine TNA without AJ. Triple H, on the other hand, I can very easily see a world, a WWE universe without Triple H. Very easily I can see that. AJ, I can't see that. And there's no one else who does that, really. No one. Absolutely no one. WWE, I mean, look at it. John Cena, the biggest guy there. He's been out for so long. Who was it? I think it was Kennedy who actually injured Cena. He was out for that long time, returned at the Rumble, but someone said WWE was actually doing better in that time period. You know, AJ, for me, is definitely a wrestler of the decade. Anyway, now that's out of the way, just for a little Christmas treat, I'm going to show you what the jabroni monster, the eyebrow raising, the people's elbow dropping, what thought I'm giving, that Mr. Jabroni got for Christmas. I got a brand new iPod Touch. Yes, feel it, caress it, kiss it, but only me. That's a very good present. I got £150 spending money, and that's from the parents. I also got Eminem Relapse Refill, very good. I've got every Eminem album since the Slim Shady LP, so I'm very glad to add that to my collection. DVDs, got some interesting ones here. I got the 12 greatest rounds of boxing ever. I got quite possibly one of the best UFC events, UFC 52, headlined by Randy Couture, the greatest man in as well. You know how I was saying AJ is TNA? This guy right there is UFC. You got Randy Couture versus Chuck Liddell 2, possibly one of the greatest matches of all time. I also got Tyson the Movie Platinum Edition, or is it Silver Edition? Platinum Edition, yeah. And I got UFC Ultimate Knockouts. Very great Christmas. A very good Christmas for me. So, yeah, that's just my thoughts on Triple H being voted Wrestler of the Decade, which is absolute nonsense. I've been Mr. Jabroni, and I'm out.